Hello viewers, 4DIYers here with another continuation of my buy and sell lawnmowers video series. In this particular video here, I'll be doing a demonstration on how to clean a carburetor on a lawnmower. Don't forget to check out my website at www.4DIYers.com and subscribe to my social media pages such as Google+, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are all included in the description below. A dirty or clogged carburetor can cause no start or starting issues, reduced power, reduced efficiency, and erratic idling. Carburetor styles will vary between engines, but the same basic procedure applies. I do have a couple other carburetor cleaning videos if you want to check those out as well. This particular mower I'm working with here is a 6-horse Tecumseh on a Craftsman push mower. Unfortunately, on this model it is a little more work intensive to remove the carburetor as the bolts are hard to gain access to. I cannot separate the carburetor from the intake manifold currently because there is limited space. First, start by removing the two retaining bolts on the engine cover. This is needed as the cover partly covers up the one bolt which holds the intake in place. Now remove the muffler, as this also limits the space for the other intake manifold bolt. If you find the two bolts are binding up when removing them, try to apply some penetrating oil or keep tightening and loosening them to prevent the damage to the threads. Now we can finally remove the intake manifold. First, starting with the bottom bolt, which can only be accessed by a wrench, and then the other fastener slightly hidden behind the cover. Removing the two front fasteners will allow you to slightly pull up the cover, gaining access to this bolt and having enough room. Sometimes this assembly can stick to the gasket surface from sitting, so slight pressure may be needed to break it free. Next, you'll have the throttle spring that needs to be removed, along with the throttle control linkage. Remember which hole the throttle linkage connects to. And then remove the fuel line clamp with pliers, then twist and remove the fuel line. This time around I'll be plugging the line using a bolt, then face the line upwards. Finally, the carburetor is removed. Considering the outside of the carburetor is fairly dirty, using a toothbrush and carburetor specific cleaner to remove the dirt. This will prevent any contamination inside the carburetor once we move into cleaning the inside. I'm also using an oil pan to catch any cleaner residue along with the dirt, and just in case any small parts fall off. There might still be fuel present inside the carburetor, so also have a rag or container handy. Remove the float bowl bolt. Once the float bowl has been removed, we can see there's a little bit of dirt inside. The float is removed by taking out the pin. It's good to shake the float and listen for any liquid inside, as sometimes these can leak, causing running issues. I have produced a video on how to repair a leaking brass float, and will include the link in the description below. Above the float is a needle. This particular model of carburetor does not have a high and low speed jet, as they are fixed settings from factory. Therefore, if the carburetor is too far damaged, a new unit will need to be purchased. Next, we will remove the intake manifold. Sometimes these can become gummed up, but this one looks fairly clean. When this is removed, we can inspect the other side of the carburetor, along with having easier access for cleaning. The air filter simply twists on in place, which we'll talk about towards the end of the video. I'll be removing the air filter flange to get better access to cleaning, which is held on by two fasteners. Finally, we can move on to cleaning the inside. Again, clean the carburetor in a pan to prevent any overspray on other objects, along with the prevention of losing any small parts, and as well as catching the fluid residue. Use a nozzle to wash out any orifices. Always cup your hand when spraying to prevent the cleaner from spraying back at you. I would highly recommend wearing safety glasses and rubber gloves as well. Use a soft wire or fishing line to help clean out any of those orifices. Torch cleaning tips can also be used, but you must be extremely careful not to file away any material which can affect the design of the carburetor. And finally, clean the float and float bowl. Then we'll need to clean the passage in the float bowl nut. Allow the cleaner to evaporate and then reassemble. Reassembly in reverse of disassembly. Inspect any gaskets and replace accordingly. If you are required to purchase any gaskets, they can be purchased either online, at your local hardware store, or at a small engines retailer. Inspect the fuel line for any damage and replace accordingly as well. Finally, install the carburetor in reverse of removal. Now for replacement of the air filter. I noticed earlier the filter was quite dirty, so it does need to be replaced. Simply twist the plastic case around counterclockwise. It has various tangs around the outside, which locks it into place. Luckily, when this mower was being tossed out, they did throw out some brand new air filters that came in a pack of 2. Remove the old air filter and use a rag to clean out any dirt inside the plastic housing. Finally, install the new air filter, align the tabs, and then lock it back into place by twisting clockwise. New videos are being uploaded every week to my channel, so subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the button below the video. This concludes the rest of my video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post them. Thank you for watching.